Is it possible to run a backend without a frontend? So let us define what a backend is before even answering this question. So a backend is the part of a software application that operates behind the scenes, and it typically handles things like data storage, logic, and server-side processes. So it's basically the layer that talks to the database and manages core functionality, processes requests, and sends responses back to whatever is making the request, which is often the front end, but not necessarily. So the backend can be written in several different programming languages. For example, we have Node.js, Python, Ruby, Java, and more. And it is designed to manage application logic, authentication, and interactions with database or other external services. So now when somebody uses the term front end, they are generally referring to the client-facing interface. So what users see and interact with, which is often on the web page or a mobile app screen. And this is often written using technologies like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, or frameworks like React, Vue to present a comprehensive user interface. So to answer the initial question, yes, absolutely. A backend doesn't inherently need a front end or a graphical user interface. And let me tell you how your backend can operate this way without a front end or a GUI. Your backend can operate as an API that other applications or services consume. For example, payment gateways like Stripe or Paystack have robust backend that processes payments. While you may see a front-end form during checkout, the API itself operates independently of that interface. We also have things like serverless functions. So services like AWS Lambda or Google Cloud Functions let you run backend code on demand. And these functions can be used without any dedicated frontend. We also have background jobs that run explicitly in the backend. It exists only to process data. For example, there can be a job that runs every single day at midnight in order to update every single user. We also have things like microservices, and in a microservice architecture, each service handles a specific piece of functionality like user authentication, management, or email notifications. Most of these services don't have their own front-end interfaces. They merely communicate with each other and sometimes with a main backend or gateway via API calls. So you see that in all these cases, the backend is alive and well, basically fulfilling its responsibilities, that is managing data, performing logic, and communicating with other services, but without a direct user-facing layer or front end. And this is how many critical systems in modern software infrastructure operates. So I hope you learned something from this video. If you did, leave a like. And if you have any question you want me to explain for you or you want me to answer, let me know in the comments, and see you in the next one.